हेलो दोस्तों, वेलकम टू माय चैनल पीआर नॉलेज सेंटर। आप लोग का स्वागत है हमारे चैनल पे। आज मैं लाई हूँ आपके लिए सितंबर मंथ का करंट अफेयर, जिसमें हम सिक्योरिटी का करेंगे। तो सारे चैप्टर जो भी इन्वायरमेंट है, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी है, पॉलिटी है, सबका हम अलग अलग वीडियो बना रहे हैं, और ताकि आप रिविजन अच्छे से कर सके जिस भी चीज़ का करना हो, और एकदम अच्छे से हम एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं। तो आपका करंट अफेयर मैगजीन तो चल ही रहा है, साथ ही साथ एनसीईआरटी भी कंप्लीट होने वाला है, और आपके लिए मैं टेस्ट भी कंडक्ट करा रही हूँ, तो टेस्ट भी करवा रही हूँ। आप टेस्ट का भी वीडियो देखिए। बहुत सारी चीज़ चल रही है, घटना चक्र चल रहा है, बहुत सारी चीज़ें एंजॉय करिए, और चैनल को लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब जरूर करिए। प्लीज़ अपने दोस्तों को भी सब्सक्राइब करवाइए चैनल को, हम आपके लिए बहुत सारी चीज़ें प्रोवाइड करेंगे। तो ठीक है, चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं सितंबर मंथ का सिक्योरिटी का चैप्टर और सिक्योरिटी। ओके, तो लेट्स स्टार्ट। तो सिक्योरिटी करेंगे, बॉर्डर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का पहला न्यूज है। वाई न्यूज, द डिफेंस मिनिस्टर रिसेंटली इनॉग्रेटेड 90 projects of the border road organization and strengthening the border infrastructure of country. More about the news. If you discuss about the more about news, these projects have been built across border regions of 11 state and union territory of India. तो इसमें जो है बिल्ट अक्रॉस बॉर्डर रीजन ऑफ 11 स्टेट and union territory of India. The border infrastructure consists of airfield, tunnel, all-weather road facing and also lying of the new railway lines. Infrastructure के लिए, and need for the strengthening of the border infrastructure for what? Develop the infrastructure and livelihood of the bordering areas, and control cross-border terrorism and infiltration, and check left-wing extremism and separatist forces operating from abroad, and check cross-border aggression of other armies, and check simultaneously as check smuggling of the narcotics and arm, and provide all-weather connectivity to the border area, enable a swift movement of the troop, and ensure supply chain. That's why. And challenge in creating the border infrastructure, चैलेंजिंग टेरेन की अगर बात करें तो इसमें दुर्गम स्थलाकृतियां हैं। Challenging of terrains. The terrain across India's international border range from marshland, salt pans and desert valley, river, forest etc. मतलब भारत का अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सीमा के पास भूभाग दलदली भूमि, लवड़ी भूमि और रेगिस्तान, घाटियां, नदियां, जंगलों आदि से घिरा हुआ है। And political instability in the neighboring countries such as Pakistan potentially result in the border relating problems, triggering issues like mass migrations and among other. And other things, lack of the coordination between the ministries like Home Affairs and Defense Minister, which has led to infrastructure delay in the border areas. Potential hotspot of the radicalization. Uh, रेडिकलाइजेशन मीन्स जो है आपका कट्टरपंथ के लिए संभावित हॉटस्पॉट है। जैसे बॉर्डर एरिया सफरिंग फ्रॉम द इकोनॉमिक अंडर डेवलप, फ्रिक्वेंटली लैक ऑफ इसेंशियल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर रेंडरिंग एंड द susceptible becoming potential hotspot of radicalization. Example, the northeastern state are marred with ethnic conflicts and regional separatist force, making it difficult for the border infrastructure development. Poorest border जैसे जो खुली बॉर्डर्स होते हैं, दे एनेबल फॉर क्रिमिनल ऑपरेशंस लाइक स्मगलिंग, ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग एंड ट्रैफिकिंग ऑफ द ड्रग एंड weapons and infiltration in the border regions. An environmental question, building up the large infrastructure project in these ecological sensitive areas may lead to several damage to the biodiversity of the regions. And currently, all highway projects within 100 km of India's line of control are exempt obtaining the environmental clearance. Under utilization, uh, utilization of funds, the Parliamentary Committee for the Home Ministry and expressed dismay over underutilization of the fund border infrastructure and border areas development program. Way forward, integrated local communities in border management and make them a eyes and ear for the forces, promoting better surveillance across the border and reducing the distance between inter-border outposts across open borders so as to reduce the cases of the trafficking and smuggling and fake currencies and utilize technology like lidar, laser, fencing, flood lighting, CCTV drones, surveillance, etc. in the feasible areas of the border create border protection grid in every border state. Continuous upgrading and the present inventory of the equipment of the accessories in the conjunction with the new project so that they are also utilized optimally. Private sector participation should be encouraged and their capacities can utilize in the technological upgradation aspect and context of the electronic and surveillance equipment and maintenance. Government initiative to the strengthen border infrastructure. Vibrant Village Program, centrally sponsored scheme which aim to develop the essential infrastructure and creation of the livelihood opportunities in certain district and border blocks of four states and one union territory named Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh and Ladakh. Border infrastructure and management. Central sector umbrella scheme, which aim to provide the better road, electricity, and communication infrastructure along with border areas, and comprehensive integrated border management system, an integrated system that utilize high-tech surveillance devices such as sensor, detector, cameras, radar system to address the gaps in present system of border security. Implementation of recommendation of the Sekatkar committee relating to border infrastructure like outsourcing road construction work and introduction of the modern construction plans, land acquisition and statutory character etc. News in shorts, if you will what is news in shorts? Armed Forces Special Power Act UPSC 1958. Union Ministry of Home Affairs has extended UPSC in part of Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh by another 6 months. PASPA grant special powers to armed forces to bring back order in disturbed area. They can open fire against any person in the contraventions to law, arrest and search premises without warrant etc. And the key highlights we will discuss about disturbed area. A part whole state is declared disturbed area when use of armed force in aid of civil power is necessary to the restore order. Declaration is made of the governor of state administration of UT or by center. Immunity to armed force personnel, prohibition legal proceeding against them except with the previous sanction of the central government. In 2016, Supreme Court ruled that the armed force could not be immune from investigation of excess committee during the discharge of the duties even in disturbed area. Treatment of arrested person. Army authority is duty bound to hand over the arrested person to the officer in charge of the nearest police station with least possible delay. Applicability. Part of the Assam, Manipur, Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh and concern abuse of power, human right and violence violation etc. Second news. Prevention of the money laundering, maintenance of the records, Rule 2005. Ministry of Finance notified change in the prevention of money laundering, maintenance of the record, Rule 2005. Amendment aimed to enlarge type and nature of the individual who can come under the prevention of the money laundering ambit. Key amendments: ownership rule. The person having the ownership of more than 10%, earlier limit 15%, and capital of the profit is partnership will be considered as the beneficial owner. And a person who exercise control over the partnership through other means will be treated as a beneficial owner. And the next definition of the principal officer of the reporting entity: banking, company, finance institution, and intermediaries, etc. Only one officer at the management level can be appointed as the principal officer. Earlier, reporting entity had discretion to appoint any officer and as principal officer. Reporting entities shall ensure that in case of trust, trustees shall disclose their status or position they occupy in the trust. Reporting entities to keep a client record for 5 years after business relationship with the client and ended or account has been closed, whichever is latter. And PMLA was enacted in 2002 prevent money laundering and provided the confiscation of the property and derived from or involved in money laundering. Enforcement Director (ED) under the Department of Revenue enforces the PMLA. And fugitive economic offender, fugitive fugitive economic offender, asset worth over $1.8 billion recovered under Fugitive Economic Offence Act. A fugitive economic offender क्या होता है? Is a persons against whom an arrest warrant has been issued for the involvement of the economic offence involving at least rupees 100 crore, and the person has left India to avoid criminal prosecution. Recently, only 10 people have been declared as the fugitive economic offender. FEO Act 2018 schedule of offence are counterfeiting government stamps of currency, check, dishonor and transactions, and defrauding and creditor money laundering, etc. Declaring as the offender as the application will be filed a special court designated under the Prevention Money Laundering Act 2022. Enforcement Director is an apex agency in the implementation of the law, empower the authority to confiscate asset even when no conviction has been obtained. Right and title of the confiscated property waste to central government, and appeals against the order of the special court will lies before the High Court. And challenge lack of international cooperation and deportation and complex legal structure of different countries and jurisdiction, etc. Priorities area for FEO: law enforcement cooperation via information sharing, enhancing the integrity and effectiveness of anti-corruption authorities, and strengthening asset recovery mechanism. Sorry. And next news: TTPS based cybercrime investigation framework. TTPS मतलब Tactics, Technique and Procedures based cybercrime investigation framework can help track and classify cybercrime, identify the chain of the evidence and required to solve the case, and next the map evidence onto the framework to convict the criminals. And it was developed by the IIT Kanpur with support from the Department of the Science and Technology and under the mission of the Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical System. Develop a methodology and tools for the apprehending the cyber criminals, modes of the operation in the crime execution lifestyle. And MICPS aim to develop the technology platform to carry out research and development, translational research, product development, and incubating the supporting startups and commercialization. And next news is Smishing is the social engineering attack uses the psychological manipulation and exploit human errors that uses fake mobile text message to trick people into the downloading malware, sharing sensitive information, and sending money to cyber criminals. Smishing is the combination of SMS, short message service, and phishing. Phishing is a broad term of the cyber attack that use social engineering to trick victim into paying money, hanging over sensitive information, or downloading the malware. Main difference between the different type of the phishing attack is the medium used by the carry out the attack. Um, Spamofles uh, Meta has taken down thousands of the Facebook accounts that were part of the campaign known as the Small Flag. Small Flag was a widespread online Chinese spam operation which posted praise for China and criticism for the USA, Western foreign politics, and critics of Chinese government. Similar campaign by Russia and named Doppelganger was disrupted last year. It mimicked website and mainstream news outlets in Europe and post bogus stories about Russia war on Ukraine, then try to spread them online. Defense indigenization. Defense Acquisitions Council approved rupees 7,800 crore to bolster to armed force. DSC granted an acceptance and necessity of the acquisition and electronic welfare suite for Mi-17 V5 helicopters and sources from the Bharat Electronic Limited under the Buy Indian IDDM categories. By Indian IDDM categories refer to the procurement of the product from Indian vendor that has been indigenously designed, developed, and manufactured with the minimum 50% indigenous content on the cost of basis of the total contract value. It one of the categories of procurement of the Defence Acquisition Policy 2020 to boost indigenous arm manufacturing. Other category procurement is by India Indian and buy and make Indians and buy global manufacturing in Indian buy global. Significance of defense indigenization, security and strategic imperatives in the context of the hostile neighborhood and changing geopolitics and boosting the innovation and research in defense and reducing the current account deficit emerging from defense import. And next challenges challenge interoperability of the equipment issues with the economic scale in short term, ensuring deep and sustained research and defense. DAC is the highest decision making body on defense procurement, having the Defense Ministry as its chairman. Enforcement Information Fusion Center, Indian Ocean region. About that established in 2018 Gurugram. Objective is to enhance the maritime domain awareness and share information vessel interest and region covered Indian Ocean region and the adjoining sea. Significance vital role in enhancing the global effort to combat maritime security threat, including piracy, armed robbery, and contraband smuggling and IUU fishing etc. Prele ballistic missile. Prele ballistic missile. Ministry of Defence granted approval for acquisition of the regiment of the Parallel ballistic missile. About parallel ballistic missile type, surface to surface short range ballistic missile that is capable of being launched from a mobile launcher, developed by DRDO. Operation range 150 to 500 km. Payload capability 350 to 700 kgs of the convention vast. Unlike intercontinental ballistic missile that exceeds the earth atmosphere, short range ballistic missile stay within it. While it has low trajectory and is largely ballistic, it can maneuver in flight. And next is Mahendragiri Y 12 654. मतलब 1265 4 जो भी है। द सेवेंथ एंड लास्ट स्ट्रेंथ फ्रिगेट प्रोजेक्ट 117A Mahendragiri was launched at the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilder Limited in Mumbai. Mahendragiri named the mountain peak in the Eastern Ghat located in Odisha. Project 17A frigate are the follow-on class of the Project 17 Shivalik class and frigate with improved strength feature, advanced weapons and sensor platform management system. Project 17 ship have been designed in the house by Indian Navy Warship Design Bureaus and Operation Pluto. 75th anniversary of the Operation Polo is being celebrated. It is the code name of the military action launched by the Indian Army on September 13, 1948 to integrate the princely state of the Hyderabad. It was launched because Nizam Mir Usman Ali Shah was reluctant to join India after independence in 1947. Noima Airfield. Ministry of Defence has laid foundation stone for the Neoma airfield in eastern Ladakh. Border Road Organization will construct India's higher fighter airfield in Neoma. Nema village located close to south bank of the Pangong Tso and 13,700 feet. Neoma is around 46 kilometers of the line of actual control. Significant of the Neoma airfield boost air infrastructure in Ladakh and augment IAF's capability along the northern border and counter China's strategy for anti-access area denied A2AD. A2AD involved restricting the enemy freedom of the movement on battle, battlefield through deployment of a wide range of surface-to-air missile sites and long-range radar etc. Exercise in News Varuna. It is bilateral exercise between India and French Navy and SIMBEX, Singapore India Maritime Bilateral Exercise. It is annual bilateral naval exercise between India and Singapore. एंड सिक्योरिटी खत्म होता है आपका यहाँ पे। तो सिक्योरिटी के सारे इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको प्राप्त हुए। तो कैसा लगा वीडियो बताइएगा ज़रूर और अपना फीडबैक कमेंट बॉक्स में दीजिएगा और वीडियो को लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब करिएगा। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो, तब तक के लिए जय हिंद, जय भारत।